When a console manufacturer includes a game within the system's box, they usually put a lot of thought into choosing what that game is. A lot of times they'll choose a familiar game, or at least one based on a familiar franchise. They will also tend to choose a game that shows off the system's graphical capabilities. If there's an accessory that comes with the system, like a light gun, they'll usually include a game that uses it, in order to justify having it in there. A lot of times though, they'll simply include a game because it's fun, one that'll get people talking about both the game and the system. None of the things I just mentioned can be said about Keith Courage though, and it's somewhat of a mystery to this day why it was included within boxes of the TurboGrafx 16. It's a simple action-adventure platformer. Each stage has an overworld section and an underworld section. In the overworld, you slowly walk around a small town and navigate a few obstacles. Your main goal is to kill enemies, get the money they leave behind, and then use that money to buy health, bombs, and a longer sword. There's also a woman who gives you advice. There's only a total of 4 townspeople in the game, and the only things you ever buy are the 3 things I just mentioned: health, bombs, and a longer sword. These items get more expensive as you get further into the game, so more and more, you'll end up having to camp out somewhere and kill enemies repeatedly. After riding the rainbow at the end of the overworld, you transform into a warrior and head into the underworld. The pace picks up quite a bit as you slash your way through enemy-filled platforms and eventually engage a boss. The enemies here don't leave behind money, but they do leave behind hearts that replenish your health. To ensure that you're healthy enough to face the boss, you once again find yourself camping out and killing enemies. The controls are not well tuned. When you let go of the D-pad to stop, you keep going for a split second, like you're wearing slippery shoes. It's hard to control the jumps too. You rise fast vertically, but move slowly horizontally. This makes it easy to hit your head on objects above. The enemies are fast and annoying, but they don't do too much damage. What kills you the most are the spikes, which you'll get forced into or inadvertently land on while making blind jumps. It's not easy to remember where these spikes are because the levels are generically designed, with many parts that look the same. Despite some cheap deaths, the overall challenge level is about medium. If you die at a boss, you do have to walk the whole level again. Luckily the levels are short though. The final boss, who I won't show, is very tough to beat. But if you're lucky, you'll get him to glitch and become frozen, as I did. Then the game will finally be over. The game's saving grace is that it's a platformer, and even the bad platformers are still playable to some degree. Perhaps the bigwigs behind the TurboGrafx wanted to capitalize on the platforming craze, so that's why they made this a pack-in game, but they probably should have played it first.